our other guest tonight, which we haven't gotten to, and I apologize, Mimi, but I think it's funny because the two of you share a very strong connection, because really the message that Wynn is trying to portray with her writing and her messages and her blogs is very similar to what you're trying to get out there, which is to remain positive.
Yes, yes. And I think even further, I think my message is that anyone can transform themselves. No matter what situation they're in, they can look forward to becoming the kind of person that they want to be and to lead the kind of meaningful and abundant life, however they define it for themselves. So, you know, in my case, I had a kidney transplant last December. And although the story begins much before that had happened, but I have to say that being told in April of last year by my kidney doctor that I'm at the point where my kidney functions were at 18%, that my worst case scenario would be that I would need a transplant by the end of the year. Having been told that, my world turned upside down, and came a year of accelerated growth. And just, but you know, everything that happened in my life brought me to a point where I was able to take that news and work with it. And so after my journey of going through, first of all, having a friend volunteer to donate his kidney to me, going through the matching process, going through the medical system, going through embracing my health, embracing and taking responsibility for my health, and realizing that I needed to do whatever I could do to heal myself. Going through that journey and realizing, really putting into practice what I have been coaching, because I've been a life coach for 2.5 years now, but really putting it into perspective and making it very real about staying positive and staying grateful in all situations, and surrendering to the universe and to God, and to acknowledge how love in your life can just make such a big difference. And certainly the outpouring of love that was shown to me by friends and strangers just astonished me. And you know, from the time the doctor told me in April to when my friend volunteered to donate his kidney to me, which was in June, by October I was approved for a kidney transplant. It's incredible. I didn't have to go through dialysis or anything, and by December the 3rd I had my transplant. And it was really after that process that it became very clear to me what my life purpose was, because I feel so strongly that I've been given a second chance at life, and I'm so passionate about helping people. And certainly my book will focus on people with health issues, but really the principles are applicable to anyone in any area of their life, whether it's to deal with their financial situation or their health situation or their relationships or just their own personal growth. I want it to be applicable to everyone. And I really had a passion to write this book after I recovered. I went through 3 months of recovery. The first 3 months after the transplant is considered an acute recovery period. So it was very crystal clear to me that my life purpose was to make a difference in the world, and to hopefully share my story. And my book will also provide actual steps to make transformations and to try to find your life purpose, because I really believe we each have a life purpose. And once we find that, and if it's based in love and with an attitude of serving others in the world, I believe we're unstoppable. And that's the message I want to portray in my book.
Very good.
So, yeah, so you and John disagree.
What did we disagree on, John?
I don't know, he'll tell you.
Yes, because, you know, I have no idea what she's talking about. No, I actually appreciate this, because the reality is we've all had challenges in our lives, no matter what. I myself had to have open heart surgery because I played really hard. I had a heart problem all my life, acted like I didn't have one, and at 43, my heart decided that the valve had done enough, and I had a valve replacement put in. Now, when they did that, they had to put a child's valve in me because I had scar tissue. I had too much scar tissue. So I thought I was fixed. I thought, hey, I spent my whole life with this problem. Now they put this new valve, and I started running like my life was just, ready to go again. And I crashed and burned terribly. And my wife had to rebuild me back up for about 4 years, get me back to being the positive, vivacious person that I am and used to be. And I understand where all these people come from, because you don't expect your life to suddenly, you expect wonder and light, and you suddenly you look at your life and you go, there's got to be more.
Yes.
Is there more? And you want more. And yes, Mimi, I believe in what you're saying completely. They were joking. I have no problem with what you're doing. And so you have a beautiful story. And I think a wonderful, I actually went to your websites, all of your websites actually before this, and I love what you have to say. I am a life coach myself. I understand how important those aspects and how important they are to you. So your story is wonderful, and Wynn's story is beautiful. And of course, having to raise children, I have a boy who happened to be, educationally autistic is what they decided. I have a girl who, out of my 8 kids, one girl who is very much a very fast and furious type of person. And so, yeah, they're wonderful people, and we found ways to live with each other. And I think that's the beauty in life, is finding those paths. So yes, please let other people talk.
Mimi, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Wynn Charles, and I don't know if you have heard of the Olympian, Chris Krug. He's a very dear friend of mine, and he got a liver transplant, and he runs a foundation that focuses on organ donation and
fantastic.
of organ donation. So if you email me, I will get you in contact.
Sure, that'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Because
that's great.
I think you guys would get along
just fine.
I don't know if he does any work up in Canada, but I am inspired by your story. And I want to talk to you more about your story and how you can help me.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk to you more, Wynn.
You're
amazing.
Better in my life.
Well,
I think...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rudy.
The question I had, and John used the word, and Mimi used the word, my dictionary didn't come up with it. Give me the definition of life coach. Is that what you used?
Yes.
Coach. Yes.
Yes.
Can I have a definition of that?
Well, I think for me, anyway, my definition is just to empower you to be your best, and that means to help you be whatever you want to be, to help you achieve what you want to achieve, and to help you make whatever changes, or to help you along your journey of growth. So that would be my definition.
Okay, very good. John, you got anything to add to that?
Oh, she did beautifully. Yes, it is that. But
Same thing, right?
I believe in the idea that one of my favorite movies that I loved to watch when I was with my kids was Aladdin. Where he finds the genie, and the genie comes out, and the genie says these words: "All the cosmic power of the universe in an itty-bitty living space." And now in the movie, they're talking about the lamp. I see that as the human body. Okay. We are all the power of the universe inside this itty-bitty living space. And that's the beauty of us, is that we have all that in us, and the ability to do what we need to do if we allow it, if we consent, if we give ourselves the right and the wonder to do it. And that's what I believe Mimi's saying, is that we have that inside of us, that we are all that.
Yes, and I guess if I could just term it very simply, it's unlimited possibilities. Absolutely unlimited possibilities.
Right.
Whatever
We don't
you're,
give on. Yeah.
right.
Well, Mimi, Elena had asked a question since we can't hear it that well. What made you want to be a life coach?
That's a really good question, Elena. My background is that I was working in the corporate world for 18 years. I had a very stressful life. I neglected my health. I neglected my personal life, and it all came crashing down. Absolutely, I had a breakdown, and I just had to walk away from it. And but it was at the moment that I walked away that I began my own journey of transformation and of self-discovery, and learned to love myself for the first time, learn to forgive myself of the past, and learn to just embrace the future. And as I started in that journey, I actually hired a life coach myself, and he was very instrumental in helping me along my journey. And as I found more about life coaching, as I was being life coach myself, I realized that this was a very nice fit. I mean, all my life I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to make a difference in the world. I've always been very involved with my community and community service. And so so I became a life coach, but it wasn't a jump from the corporate world to life coach. It was rather ending the corporate life and then beginning a journey, and then being comfortable with myself and finding my true self, and realizing that I've been blessed with a skill to help people. Strangers confide me very easily, and I don't take that for granted, and I'm very honored by that. So that's why I became a life coach, is because I find it much more fulfilling, much more satisfying, and just making a difference in one person's life means everything to me. So that's why.